Well, we're back again with yet another No Fluff analysis, and this time we're going to be talking about the Divine Deception Summon Showcase running from the 3rd of March to the 12th of March, UTC. Let's cut the fluff and get straight to it with the adventurer added with the showcase, the 5-star Flame long-range Manacaster, Faris, the Wing of Righteousness. Hopefully to nobody's surprise, Faris is another sigil unit, with his first ability being Uriel's Covenant. Faris starts with the 300 second locked sigil debuff as standard. He also gains a unique Force Strike, and if Faris is hit by an iframeable attack while charging this Force Strike, Faris will automatically dodge the attack, deal damage to enemies in line, and inflict the Uriel's Wrath debuff. Uriel's Wrath is a stacking 3-level debuff, reducing strength by up to 30%, and at its highest level, decreases Scorch Rend resistance by 20%. The level of the debuff will slowly degrade over time unless you reapply it and reset the timer. Every time Faris dodges an attack, the locked sigil timer will be reduced by 36 seconds, with a 10-second cooldown between timer reductions. Once Faris unlocks his sigil, he gains 35% Scorch Rend Punisher, his standard attacks will hit roughly 40% harder, and his Force Strikes will deal roughly 70% increased damage and grant 1740 SP instead of the standard 600. He'll also gain 12% skill gauge fill rate when he has the Uriel's Blessing effect from his skill 2. Faris' first skill is Carbunculus Balletto, dealing 2709% damage and inflicting Scorch Rend with a 120% chance. If Faris' sigil is unlocked, this instead deals 3014% damage over 2 hits, applies a stack of Uriel's Wrath, and inflicts Scorch Rend with a 120% chance. This is shareable for 6 skill share points. Faris' second skill is Pruden's Knowledge, granting Uriel's Blessing, which grants 3 charges of Reflexive Evasion. Uriel's Blessing does not stack, and Reflexive Evasion will automatically dodge iframeable attacks. Refreshing Uriel's Blessing will reset you to 3 charges of Reflexive Evasion. Faris has the standard Manacaster Gauge Accelerator co-ability, and his Chain co-ability grants flame units 6% wind resist at 80% hit points or above. As for his other abilities, Faris has Sleep Resist, and his final ability is Uriel's Judgment. When Faris dodges an attack, he inflicts the enemy with Uriel's Wrath, with a cooldown of 15 seconds between activations. So it should go without saying, but Faris' kit is heavily focused around evasion. With a unique Force Strike that dodges attacks, a unique buff from his S2 that dodges attacks, and inflicting a unique debuff after dodging attacks, Faris is the kind of character that should take almost no avoidable damage. He's got a fairly chunky S1 with a moderate SP cost, but when the Uriel's Wrath debuff is fully stacked, he also provides a bit of defensive utility with strength debuffs, as well as making Scorch Rend application a bit more reliable. I'm fairly certain the debuff part of his kit becomes a bit moot in the Berserk phase of the Volk fight, but otherwise he should make the run up to Berserk a lot smoother. However, his Force Strikes deal reduced overdrive damage, going to dealing 0.53 times damage to the overdrive bar when his sigil's unlocked, so Faris is unlikely to fill in your overdrive shadow roll when it comes to Berserk Volk. I also think that Faris can present a subtle trap to newer players. It'll be incredibly tempting for inexperienced players to overuse Faris' Force Strike in order to evade Volk's attacks, but that'll also lead to dealing less damage over the course of the fight. Ideally, I think Faris should be aggressively maximizing SP gains and gaining dodge stacks from his S2, while also being mindful of the occasional overwhelming hunger in Volk that Faris will inadvertently dodge as well. Faris seems interesting, and his dodge-centric playstyle is somewhat unique, though not entirely new since Yoshitsune is also a Manacaster with dodge benefits. I think Faris will also make it slightly less punishing for new players to learn fights, as his auto-dodges can remove the mental overhead of having to react to all mechanics. He's not limited, however, and he's also not as custom fit to the Volk fight as Leonidas is. With the 2.5 anniversary on the horizon, I'm not entirely confident that newer players should be gunning for Faris. After all, if there's a chance to get Gala Leonidas in a few weeks' time, I think he is a better investment for the same element weapon combo. As always though, I'm not your boss. If you like his design, want to dodge things till there's nothing left to dodge, who am I to tell you how to spend your resources? Just don't spend so much time dodging that you forget to shoot the enemy. Alongside Faris is the 5-star Water Dragon Gabriel, the Blessed Angel. Gabriel's skill is Angelic Devotion, dealing 1722% damage and inflicting Frostbite with a 120% chance. Her first ability grants water units 60% strength. And her second ability grants water units Gabriel's Favor. When the user's hit points are restored, gain Gabriel's Love, which is a buff that grants 10% strength, 50% defense, and a shield for 10% of your hit points, and the shield can stack with regular shields. There's no duration limit to the Gabriel's Love buff, but there is an activation cooldown of 10 seconds. Gabriel's also got a pretty unique attack chain. While it's a 3-tap combo, the final hit of the combo deals no damage. Instead, it heals the team with 25% recovery potency. It's not a huge heal by any means, at near max might that'll heal for roughly 200 to 300 hit points, but it'll trigger her unique ability, granting extra strength, defense, and the shield. This means that any water adventurer can make use of her second ability, though with reduced frequency even if they don't have a way of healing themselves. Although even with that, most fights against the twins will have some means of healing anyway. Gabriel's aura is pretty custom fit to Pinon, unsurprisingly. Once Pinon unlocks her sigil, her unique combo allows her to heal herself. This should enable Pinon to really behave like a turret, planting herself on the spot, shooting out heavy hits, and granting her defensive buffs to attempt to shrug off attacks. However, without either Pinon or a Gabriel to test this myself, my judgment is limited to theory crafting. And even at that, my videos don't typically delve too heavily down that route either. Whether the Gabriel-Pinon combo is truly effective is going to come down to whether or not the combined defense buffs will allow Pinon to shrug off room-wide purples against the twins. If Pinon can shrug off even the room-wide lasers, that'd be really impressive, and could potentially be possible with enough extra defense buffs if you're running with Karina. For other units, I think Gabriel is okay. Her damage mods are roughly on par with Leviathan, but without knowing how quickly she attacks, it's unwise to rely on that to see if she's decent. Looking just at her aura though, Gabriel matches and improves on the standard 60% strength aura, providing buffs so long as you can receive a heal. While I don't think the extra buffs are quite enough to outstrip Bunny or Siren on Karina, they provide a bit of offensive and defensive utility to help you shrug off hits. This indirectly provides a slight DPS increase since your uptime's improved. Skills and combos won't get interrupted as often if Gabriel's shield can soak hits. If we look purely at the aura, Gabriel is better than Leviathan, but given that Leviathan's essences are farmable, I'm not entirely confident that Gabriel is a worthwhile sink for your summoning resources. Even without knowing Gabriel's attack speeds, her skill slightly pales against Leviathan's, only inflicting frostbite instead of Leviathan's coveted bog. All in all for the showcase, the addition of Faris and Gabriel is interesting and tempting, but I don't think they're particularly groundbreaking in a way that unlocks the Volk or Twins fights. Opinions could change once we see the Sinister Dominion fights released, but I'm wary of pulling so close to the 2.5 anniversary. If you're desperate to play with Manacasters, or you really want a dragon waifu, I'm sure you've already pulled. And that's okay. I'm not your boss, do what you want. As always, thank you very much for watching until the end. Take it easy, stay safe, and I wish you luck in your upcoming polls.